Elena Thompson, the woman Marcus Reynolds loved first, the woman he cheated on, the woman he destroyed. And now she's here at his wedding to the other woman. Elena feels every stare like needles. She lifts her chin, forces her heels to keep clicking across the marble floor, and takes the only empty seat in the entire place, the one nobody wanted to sit next to. She folds her hands in her lap, orders a glass of champagne she has no intention of drinking, and waits 0.5 years earlier. Elena had been the kind of love people write songs about. Marcus walked into that art gallery dripping rainwater and confidence, pointed at her painting of a cracked heart stitched with gold, and said, "That's the most honest thing I've seen in years." By closing time, they were sharing beignet at a 24-hour cafe, powdered sugar on their fingers, laughing like teenagers. He called her my queen before it was a trend. Sent flowers to her office just because it was Wednesday. Learned exactly how she liked her coffee and never forgot. When she cried about imposter syndrome, he held her face and said, "Baby, the world is lucky you even showed up." For the first time in her life, Elena felt chosen, seen, safe. Then came the family dinner at the Reynolds estate. Crystal chandeliers, old money, older prejudices. His mother smiled with teeth only and asked if Elena's parents came from good stock. His father joked that Marcus was trying something exotic. Elena laughed it off in the car, but Marcus's knuckles were white on the steering wheel the whole drive home. That night, he promised her the world. 3 weeks later, he started coming home late, smelling like someone else's perfume. The night she found out, rain hammered the windows like it was trying to break in with her. Lipstick on his collar shade, Southern Rose. Text message preview glowing on his phone. "Can't wait to feel you again tonight." Elena didn't scream. She just asked how long. Marcus dropped to his knees on the hardwood floor and cried like a child. 6 months. I am sorry. My parents, the company. I got scared. Scared. That was the word he used for throwing away the only woman who ever loved him without conditions. She left before sunrise. Left the key on the counter next to the promise ring he gave her. Blocked his number. Deleted every photo. Burned the love letters in a metal trash can in her backyard while her best friend held her hair back as she sobbed until she dry heaved. She told herself she was done with love. Done with men who say forever and mean until something shinier comes along. Life moved on. Elena's art took off. Galleries in New York, features in magazines, commissions she once only dreamed of. She bought her own house. Adopted a rescue dog named Maya. Learned to sleep diagonally across the bed because no one was taking the other side. But some nights the silence still sounded like his voice whispering her name. Then the invitation came. Thick cream cardstock, gold foil lettering.mr. And Mrs. Reynolds requests the honor of your presence at the marriage of their son Marcus to Miss Sophia Elizabeth Carrington. Handwritten in the corner, in Marcus's unmistakable scrawl. Please come. I need you to see this. She should have thrown it away. Instead, she bought the red dress. The one that says I survived you. Now here she is, watching Marcus stand at the altar in a tux that costs more than most people's rent, repeating vows to the woman he left her for. Sophia looks flawless, blonde porcelain, the human embodiment of everything Elena was told she could never beat. Elena's chest aches, but her face stays calm. She has practiced this moment in the mirror 1,000 times. The ceremony ends. Applause. Kisses. Photos. At the reception. People pretend to be busy, so they don't have to speak to her. Old mutual friends give awkward waves from across the room like she's contagious. Marcus's mother clutches her pearls every time Elena moves. Elena just sips her untouched champagne and counts heartbeats. Dinner is served. Speeches begin. Father of the bride. Best man. Maid of honor crying about soulmates. Then Marcus takes the microphone. The room hushes. Even the string quartet stops, that he looks nervous. Sweating. eyes bloodshot like he hasn't slept in days, that he thanks his parents. Thanks Sophia's parents. Thanks the caterer for the filet mignon. Then he stops, takes a breath that shakes his whole body. His gaze finds Elena across the candlelit tables, and he says the words that turn the entire wedding upside down. Elena Thompson, everybody in this room knows your name. They just pretend they don't. 100 gasps suck the oxygen out of the garden. Marcus's voice cracks. 5 years ago, I had the greatest love of my life, and I cheated on her. Elite. I chose money and approval over the woman who loved me when I had nothing to offer but a broke heart and big dreams. Tonight, I stood up there and promised forever to someone else. But the only forever I ever meant was with you. Sophia's champagne glass slips from her hand and shatters on the stone floor. Marcus's mother screams his name like he's been shot. But Marcus doesn't flinch. He keeps looking straight at Elena. Baby, I know I don't deserve a second of your time, but I'm begging on my knees in front of God and everybody, come back to me. Let me spend the rest of my life making up for the day I broke you. The garden is so quiet you can hear Elena's heartbeat. Every eye is on the black woman in the red dress who was invisible 5 minutes ago and is now the only person in the world who matters. And that, beautiful people, is where everything explodes. Elena doesn't move. Not yet. She lets the silence stretch until it's painful, until Marcus's knees actually hit the stone floor in front of $3,000 tux pants that are about to get ruined. Then she stands. The red dress catches the fairy lights like fire. Every phone in the garden is already up, recording, because nobody has ever seen a moment this raw. She walks toward him, heels clicking. Slow, deliberate. The crowd parts like the Red Sea. Some people are crying. Some are praying. Sophia is frozen beside the cake, veiled trembling in the breeze. Elena stops 1 foot from Marcus, close enough to smell the whiskey on his breath, the fear in his sweat. You want to do this here? She asks, voice low, steady, lethal velvet. Marcus nods, tears sliding into his collar. I have nothing left to hide. Elena looks at Sophia, really looks at her for the first time. Sophia's mascara is running, but her chin is high, proud even while breaking. Elena speaks to her, not Marcus. I was 6 weeks pregnant when he left me. The garden detonates. Phones shake. Someone screams. Marcus's mother actually faints into the hydrangeas. Elena keeps going, eyes locked on Sophia. I lost the baby the night I found those texts. Stress, the doctor said. I never told him. Didn't want him coming back out of guilt. But I think you deserve to know exactly who you almost married. Sophia's hand flies to her mouth. She turns to Marcus. Is this true? Marcus can't speak. He just nods, destroyed. Elena finally looks down at the man on his knees. You said you wanted to make it right in front of God and everybody. Fine. She reaches in her clutch, pulls out a small black and white ultrasound photo, edges worn from being carried every day for months, and drops it on his open palm. That was our baby, Marcus. The one you'll never hold because you were too busy holding somebody else. Marcus breaks. A sound comes out of him that isn't human. He clutches the photo to his chest like it can bring breath back to both of them. Elena turns to the crowd. Y'all avoided me all night like I was the mistake. But the mistake is kneeling right there, and I'm done carrying it for him. She starts to walk away. Marcus lunges, grabs her wrist, gentle, desperate. Elena, please. I sold my shares in the company last month. Cut my parents off. I'm free. I'm nobody now. Just a man who knows he threw away the only thing that ever mattered. Let me love you the way you always loved me. Loud, proud, no more hiding. Elena looks at his hand on her skin. Then she does something nobody expects. She threads her fingers through his. Not here, she says. Not like this. She pulls him up, leads him past the shattered glass, past Sophia, who is now crying silently in her father's shoulder, past the guests who suddenly can't meet her eyes because shame is heavier than judgment. They stop under the oak draped in fairy lights, private, but still in view of everyone, because Elena refuses to hide anymore. She places his hand on her stomach. Flat tonight, but not for long. I'm 12 weeks now, she whispers. Found out the day your invitation came. This time I'm keeping it, with or without you. Marcus drops to his knees again, but this time he presses his forehead to her belly like it's holy ground. I'm here, he chokes. I'll spend every day proving I'm here. Elena looks out at the crowd. Some are sobbing, some are filming. All of them are changed. She raises her voice so everyone can hear the final truth. I didn't come here to ruin a wedding. I came to bury a ghost. Turns out the ghost was ready to live again. She helps Marcus stand. They walk out together, hand in hand, red dress and ruined with grass stains, Tuck's jacket slung over her shoulders against the night chill. Behind them, the string quartet starts playing at last unprompted, because even the musicians know the real love story when they see one rise from the ashes. 6 months later, a different garden. Smaller, real friends only. Elena in a simple white sundress that shows the perfect swell of her belly. Marcus in linen, eyes red from happy tears, repeating vows he wrote himself this time. In old money. No approval needed. Just a black queen and a man who finally learned that loving her out loud was the only inheritance worth having. Their daughter is born on a Tuesday in spring, with Elena's eyes and Marcus's smile. They name her Hope, and every single night, Marcus reads her the same bedtime promise. Daddy messed up once, but I'll spend every tomorrow making sure you and your mama never doubt you're my whole world. The video ends on a close-up of the ultrasound photo from that night, now framed on their nightstand, next to a brand new family picture where everybody is laughing. Because sometimes the woman they avoided becomes the one they can't live without. And that, loves, is how you turn a scandal into forever.